Okay, this is a quick tutorial on graphical analysis. What we're going to do is answer what do we do with a set of data once we get it. What we do is we make a graph. These are the steps to making the graph. First thing we do is we plot the data points. The second thing is we draw a best fit line. A few things about the best fit line really quickly. Number one, we do not connect the dots. It is very reasonable that the best fit line will not intersect any of the data points. So two, how do we do that if we're doing this by freehand? The best way to do a best fit line is to draw a line such that about half the data points are above it and half of them are below it. Now that we have the line, what you'll do is you'll go ahead and determine the value of the y-intercept. And last but not least, we will calculate the slope. Why do we do this? We do this because using the slope of the best fit line produces far more accurate analysis of the data than using the averages. So I'm going to back out of this really quick and hop into Excel. I already have a data table set up. In this particular experiment, what we did is we boiled water. We went ahead and at 30-second intervals we took the temperature of the water as it increased over time. Time was measured in seconds and the temperature was measured in kelvins. Now, to make our graph, we are going to highlight both sets of data. You need to make sure your independent variable is on the left of the dependent variable. This is because the independent variable is going to get on the x-axis and the dependent will get on the y. So we'll highlight both of these. You're going to click up here on Insert. We want to do a scatter plot. You want this first scatter plot right here with only the markers. All of these other ones, they do a connect the dot type of line, which we don't care about. So we're going to go ahead and put our points into here. And come up here to chart layouts. My favorite chart layout, the one I think is the best, and you don't have to use it if you prefer a different one. But I like layout number 3. I like it because it gives me a grid for both the x and y axis. As you saw on the previous one, there's only grid lines for going horizontal. So we'll go back to this. You can label this whatever you want, or if you want, you can just delete that out. Make this graph a little bit bigger. Move it over here. Change my titles on the axis. The x-axis is time and seconds. It is important that you put the units in with them. The y-axis is temperature, and kelvins. So, I have my graph here. You'll see there's a trend line running across. Excel's already gone ahead and put it in there for me. Now, it may look like it's playing connect the dots, but it's actually not. As you can see, it doesn't always go through the middle of each of these dots. This is a trend line that's a best fit for the given data. So, other things I can do with this, if I format the trend line, if I didn't have a linear set, I could say that this is exponential, this is logarithmic, or it's a power function, say exponential, so on and so forth. I can edit the line color here, the line style, any kind of other effects that I would like. But I'm pretty comfortable with the way it is. Now, what I would do is I would go ahead and print this out. And once I printed out the graph, I would analyze it by determining what is the value of the y-intercept. That's the first important piece of data. And then I would go back to the pre-algebra skills of looking at this trend line, picking 2 points on the trend line. Keep in mind, those are 2 points on the line. Those are not necessarily 2 data points. And I would take those 2 points and I would calculate the slope of this line. I would like to find nice and easy to use points that go through an intersection within the grid itself. See, this one here looks like a possible spot, and I would have to find one more and then calculate the slope. And that would be it. And in future tutorials, you're going to learn to figure out what is the meaning of the slope and what can I do with that, what is the meaning of the y-intercept and what can I do with that.